What is up, YouTube? My name is Eben, and today I am bringing you a Raticate BREAK deck. Now, Raticate BREAK is the break evolution of Raticate, of course. He's got 110 HP, and for 2 colorless energy, which is intensely affordable, he can do his Super Fang attack and drop your opponent's HP down to where they basically only have 10 HP left. The combo here is pretty obvious. We're going to use this with Ariados and try to basically one-shot things by going Super Fang, and then they get knocked out by poison between turns. So we're running 3 of the Raticate Break. We're running 4 of the regular Raticate to go with it. His antibodies prevents him from receiving any special conditions, including poison, of course, but it covers all the other ones as well. And he can Dirty Shock to poison himself if he needs to. If Ariados isn't around, you can kind of 2-turn kill anything. And he also gives you the bonus of getting rid of tools that are attached, so that's kind of cool. But one thing that's important to note about this guy also, he's got free retreat, which is pretty awesome. But to go with that, of course, we were also running 4 Rattatas, who at least he's not a bad lead because he can always run away with his Dangerous Suspicion and draw you a card, so that's not too bad. To back this up, of course, like I said, we're running Ariados. We're running 2 copies of the Ariados with his Poisonous Nest to poison things, and we've got 2 copies of Spinnerack to evolve from there. Now we have a kind of heavy Pokemon count in this deck, but it's all pretty useful. We got a few already. This is one of the best tech cards I could possibly think of. We're not really committed to a specific energy type in this deck, so Grass makes sense because it lets Ariados potentially attack, which could be cool. His Impound with his Poison might work, especially with Lysander, but Celebi can do some amazing work. If our abilities are turned off somehow, Celebi with his Sparkle Motion attack for a single energy can easily threaten 1 or more KOs, finishing what Raticate Break started with his Super Fang. So that's pretty cool. And this guy can also be a great stall card, as his Leap Through Time gives you a coin toss chance of basically not being knocked out when you would be knocked out ordinarily. So a pretty amazing mon, and of course it's also got Delta Stop to prevent abilities from affecting it, which is pretty nice. So I thought this was a really cool tech card. I'm really eager to try it out, and it's only got 70 HP, so it's definitely level ball fodder. We've also got Bunnelby in here, 1 copy of Bunnelby. This is because, yeah, he could be an alternative win condition with his Burrow, since we don't have a lot of actual damage-dealing attacks in the deck. But more importantly, you can use his Rototiller to recycle a lot of things in the deck that are pretty devastating to our opponents, such as Hammers. We run Hammers. He can also recycle double colorless energies and even some of our Pokemon if you want to. His Rototiller is pretty amazing, and we do have a Super Rod, so we can theoretically recycle endlessly. So, I mean, if all else fails, we can definitely deck our opponents out if needs be. Our final Pokemon in the deck, we do run 1 Shaman EX just to get our setup. Just Ultra Ball this guy early on in the game and draw to your heart's content, or mid-game after you've evolved everything and kind of emptied your hand, whatever works. As far as the rest of the deck goes, we're running 3 Sycamores because we don't want to puke our hand out too very much, but it's still just such a good draw card, you can't really not run it. We've got 2 copies of Professor Birch's Observations, a little less painful card drawing option there. We have 1 copy of Judge because we're already going to be putting our opponent in a bind very quickly because our energy costs for our attacks are so economical. So restricting our opponent's options with Judge can be a very effective strategy. So it is a nice one-of supporter. And we've got a lot of one-of supporters here, including Teammates, pretty obvious here. Our mons don't have a lot of HP, and we want to maintain our consistency, so you can Teammates go get that double colorless energy or whatever to keep going, get the Raticate Break, whatever you need. We're also opting for 1 copy of Skyla. We got plenty of items we might want to take advantage of with her, so she's a definite nice one-up to have. We're also running Wally, and do not be afraid to Versus Secret for this guy early in the game, as this guy can be very good for getting your Raticate Break up early. So this guy is a good Versus Seeker target in the early game. Do not be afraid to Battle Compressor Versus Seeker for him early on. That is a very good play to make in a lot of circumstances. We've also got 1 Lysander. That one's pretty straightforward in pretty much every deck. Now, as far as our items go, we are obviously going to be running 4 Versus Seekers to maximize our potential out of our supporters in this deck because we definitely need them to keep going here. We nearly ran 2 Battle Compressors, but I'm kind of content with 2 because we kind of we go through our deck pretty well with our items. So we are opting, we do also run Trainer's Mail, so that's why I'm opting for just 2 Battle Compressors. But definitely compress those supporters early on. You're going to want to. We're running 3 Ultra Balls, and the main reason we're running 3 instead of 4 Ultra Balls is because we also run 3 copies of Level Ball, since Many of the Pokemon in our deck can be grabbed simply with Level Ball, but the Ultra Balls are nice because they do get our Raticate breaks, and they also get you access to Shaman EX. So there are definitely good times to use that Ultra Ball. Like I said, 3 Level Ball. So after that, we are also running 4 Trainers Mail. Always, you just send those rats to the bench as soon as you get them. You definitely want your Rattatas to be Raticates as soon as possible. Rattata's got a very low HP, so we definitely want to keep him in a little bit healthier area. So these Trainers Mails, pretty much anything you get with them is always going to be good for you. So play them quickly, just rifle through that deck. Now, of course, getting our rats maximized is maximizing their effect, is going to come partially from slowing our opponent down and making their life hard already, so they can't respond very well to our Super Fang Poison strategy. So we're opting for 4 Crushing Hammers. And remember, we've got a Bunnelby in here if we need to, so we can cycle these back around if we want to. And especially in the mid to late game, these can be very difficult for opponents to deal with. We're opting for more Crushing Hammers than Enhanced Hammer, basically because there are decks that don't run any special energy, and we always want these cards to be useful to us. Granted, it's a coin toss, but we want to always have something we can hit. And basically, you're going to Crushing Hammer that thing on their bench that's about to come up so that it can't really threaten you, since you're going to knock out the active Pokemon in theory, and that way you might get multiple uses out of your Raticate. We do have 1 Enhanced Hammer, though, and for the opponents that do run the special energies, you can obviously Bunnelby this thing back, so you can. It's definitely the hammer of choice against special energy reliant opponents. And speaking of making your hammers more useful, we also have opted to squeeze in 2 copies of Headringer to make those EXs a lot slower against us. And those EXs, when they're 1 energy slower, are going to have a really hard time dealing with Raticate Break, just shooting them one after the other. Our final item is 1 copy of Super Rod, just to cycle back around our energy since we don't have a lot of them, but also our Pokemon, clearly. And like I say, you can use that to get your Bunnelby back. And our energy, finally, 4 double colorless energy for all the obvious reasons. It's all Raticate ever needs. And we do have 4 grass energy just so we get some basic energy. And because it makes Ariados and Celebi happy as well, we're opting for grass. And that is the deck. And until next time, like, comment, subscribe, check me out on Twitter. The link is below, and I will see you next time.